Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In the 90s, I was hanging out with the Sureno street gang. They're run by the Mexican Mafia. They're the street soldiers for the Mexican Mafia. I was living in Santa Cruz, which is a pretty wealthy little college town. But I wasn't going to the college, and I wasn't wealthy, and I ended up down in the ghetto. They have a barrio there that's called the Flats, Beach Flats. Beach Flats was separated by the San Lorenzo River. They had the crack side and the hooker side. I lived on the crack side. The hooker side was a little larger, and the gang there may have been more people in it, but they weren't nearly as violent. The crack side is where all the drugs were sold. And that was closer to the boardwalk, and the neighborhood was a little bit smaller, and it was more densely packed with people, and especially with gangsters. But it was a very violent area. Murders, stabbings, cars getting blown up, people getting beat up. It was a violent area. That's where a lot of the business done for that gang was going on. The Sureños are set up kind of like an army. It's not an average street gang like the Crips or the Bloods. Completely different. You can't compare them. It's really like an army with a very strict hierarchy, a military structure full of rules, strict rules, and you have to follow them or there's consequences. There's different types of punishments. Even death can be a punishment. They clean their own house. And I've seen that kind of within the gang violence, which isn't pretty, and it's hard to understand if you're from the outside world that these guys are all supposed to be down for each other, but now they're killing each other over somebody breaking a rule. That lifestyle, I lived with these people for several years, and at first I was just an outsider living in their neighborhood. As time went on, they became my only friends. And I hung out with the gangsters down in the flats exclusively for a few years. Because I liked those people and they liked me. I found a sense of loyalty that I'd never seen before. That I don't know if it exists outside of military structures. People in the army may know what I'm talking about. If you had a battle buddy or you have loyalty to people that are in your platoon or in your company or whatever. It's the exact same thing within the Sureños. I had just some real simple experiences that really showed me who my real friends were. I had always thought that people I knew from high school and just the regular people that I had grown up around, that they were my real friends. But they weren't really that loyal to me when it came down to it. When it comes down to shit hitting the fan, when you need something, when you need help, real help, are your friends really there for you? Are they there for you when it's convenient for them? And when it's not convenient, when they have something else going on, will they turn you away? Are they making their life more of a priority than your life? That's what I found with my family. My family and my friends may help me. They may be interested in me for a very limited amount of time. They'll extend a hand. They'll help you. They'll give you an ear to listen to or a shoulder to cry on for a little bit until they get sick of it. But only if it's convenient for them and they have the free time or the interest or the energy. I can't tell you how many times that I've been seriously depressed, completely lost in this world, and had close friends of mine and family of mine turn me away simply because they had other things going on at that moment and they just didn't have the energy to listen to me and my bullshit, listen to me whine or complain. And they turn you away. Those can be the times when people commit suicide. Luckily, I never did. I went out in the streets and found people that would have time for me, that would care about me, that would have loyalty to me. Most people join gangs at a young age because they feel like that they need that sort of family. They don't get it at home. They don't have those types of loyal friendships. They're looking for people that will accept them, that will take them in, that will treat them like real family, that will put somebody else before them. Have you ever done that before? Have you ever put somebody else before you? You could be going through your own bullshit. Life can be really fucking hard for you. You're having a hard time today. Today's a bad day and yesterday was too. You got bills, you got problems, you got drama. Life fucking sucks. But your homeboy needs some help. So you're going to put all your shit to the side, regardless of what it is. That giant mountain, Mount Everest, full of shit that you have to deal with. You put that to the side so you can go and deal with him. You may not want to. What you want to do is just lounge. What you want to do is inebriate yourself. What you want to do doesn't matter because your homeboy needs help. So you drop it all and you go and help them. Do you know what that's about? That's the gang life that I experienced. These motherfuckers actually cared about me. And I had never felt that before. I had never had that before. It was really enticing. I remember just one time in particular, I'll tell you, I had just broken up with my girlfriend. You know how it goes. There's drama and whatever. And I found that she was cheating on me and it was just a bad breakup. And I was really upset about it, really betrayed. And the whole experience kind of with her kind of hit me like a Mack truck because I guess I was just blinded to some of the behavior. And I didn't expect that type of backstabbing shit to go down. And, it, you know, just your bubble bursts. You know, somebody that you thought loved you, all of a sudden, turns out they didn't love you at all. I felt like a sucker. I felt stupid. I was just depressed, sad. Felt low energy. Felt like I couldn't eat, barely function. I was hanging out a lot on the block. I didn't even have the energy to go to work. I was hanging out one day, just depressed, sitting on my front porch, staring down at the concrete, watching ants crawl around. Just everything seemed fucked up to me. The relationship really hit me hard. None of my friends gave a fuck. They just kind of laugh at me like I'm some kind of pussy. Half of these guys are probably fucking my girlfriend anyways. Those are your homeboys, your ride or die people. They're sitting there backstabbing you anyways. My family didn't care. I was trying to reach out to people that maybe you could help me. Maybe you could give me a shoulder to cry on. Maybe that's something. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I'm feeling down. I'm feeling lost. I need help. I'm looking for somebody to reach out to me, you know? And even though maybe I never said it in those terms, I just got nothing but closed doors from people around me because they're too busy. It wasn't convenient for them. They had their own shit going on. Oh, sorry to be here, man, but I got my own thing going on. I have a meeting tomorrow. I have to go to bed early. I can't pay attention to you and your bullshit. Or I got my own relationship problems. So you know, it's just the way it goes, you know, get over it. So I was just kind of at a low point. Sometimes when you have a lot of other things going on in your life, all of a sudden that straw that broke the camel's back could be anything. It could be a bill that you can't afford. It could be a relationship breaking up when you're not ready. It could be anything. And all of a sudden it's just too much load to carry. And that's kind of where I was at. And I was feeling at one of the lowest points of my life. And it really wasn't because of her. It was just because of my lifestyle. But nonetheless, I was down. And nobody gave a fuck. And I'm sitting on that front porch and two of the homeboys, from the neighborhood. And there's gang members everywhere. From little kid gangsters all the way up to old men, everybody's involved. You got 75-year-old men who are full-on Mexican mafia, hard as fucking steel, done 45 years in, federal prisons and shit. And then you got young guys, you got everybody in between. They're all everywhere out in the neighborhood. And two of the gangsters came up that I knew, sat next to me. And one of them was just like, he put his arm on my shoulder and was just like, man, you look like you're ready to kill yourself. And he's just like, what's up with you, homie? And I was just like, man, life sucks. These guys sat and counseled me. They sat and talked to me. They listened. They had advice. They had both been through the same kind of shit that I was going through. That kind of ear to be open and to be able to find somebody to bond with over a bad experience, over just being down, really lifted me up. It felt like, wow, these guys actually care. Nobody else gives a fuck about me except for this gang. I'll tell you, I had another experience I can tell you really quick. I went down to visit my uncle down in Santa Barbara, 350 miles south of Santa Cruz. I had a Camaro. My Camaro broke down in Santa Barbara. I had to leave the car there at my uncle's house and take a Greyhound bus back up. No big deal, whatever. The Greyhound bus ride to go 350 miles from Southern California up to the Central Coast takes 12 goddamn hours. It's a 4-hour drive, 5-hour drive tops. It fucking took 12 and a half hours. Goddamn nightmare. You have to get that Greyhound bus at 4 in the morning. The bus ride was awful. Finally get back up to the flats. I got a little backpack full of my shit with me. I'm walking. I get up to the fucking block that I live on, right out front of my apartment, and there's usually about 25 fucking gangsters hanging out in front of the apartment selling heroin and shit, holding down the turf. As soon as I got up to the block, motherfuckers were happy to see me. I wasn't very used to having people be happy to see me. And they were on me, like, where you been, man? Where you been? I noticed you've been gone for a few days. Where you been? Where you been? My other friends didn't even notice I was gone. When I was down in Santa Barbara, thinking about taking that Greyhound bus, I called a couple of my buddies that I've known for many years, kind of since high school, just regular people. They weren't gang members or gangsters, they're just regular people. People that I thought were my friends. And told them, hey, I'm down in Santa Barbara. You think you might be able to pick me up? I got nothing but laughs. I'm not going down to Santa Barbara. That's 3.5 hours away. 4 hours away. That's like 300 miles. They just laugh at me. Literally, just laugh at me, hang up the phone. When I'm standing out in front of my building in front of all those gang members and they're asking me where have I been, and I told them the whole story about how I broke down in Santa Barbara and left my fucking Camaro down there, had to take the goddamn Greyhound up. I had like 5 different guys say, man, why didn't you call me? I love Santa Barbara. It would have been great fun. Don't ever take the Greyhound again. You call us. They were mad at me that I didn't call them first. Why would you fucking take a Greyhound? What the hell's wrong with you? You put yourself through that shit. They were laughing at me. You put yourself through that shit. You could have easily just called us. We'd all come down there, motherfucker. We'd come down there with beer, with chicks, with weed. We'd have the biggest party coming back up. We have friends that we could stop by on the way. As one guy's talking about how his grandmother lived in King City. We could stop off there, have food, spend the night, do the last leg of the trip up here. It would have been an incredible adventure. But no, you chose not to call. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize that you guys were down for me like that. And they were just like, man, we would do anything for you. You're one of the homies. I miss that kind of shit. Thanks for watching.